Survivalism, also known as prepping, is a movement that has grown significantly in recent years. With increasing global uncertainties, whether natural disasters, economic crises, social breakdowns, or pandemics, interest in being prepared for the unexpected has become more common. However, this practice is still surrounded by myths and misconceptions, many of which are perpetuated by the media and popular culture. The purpose of this guide is to debunk these myths and reveal the essential truths about survivalism, helping you understand what it truly means to be prepared. Whether you're considering adopting the prepper lifestyle or simply want to better understand this movement, keep reading. Myth 1: Survivalism is only for paranoid conspiracy theorists. The truth. Survivalism isn't about paranoia, it's about prudence and responsibility. Just as we take out health, life, and car insurance, survivalism is a form of personal insurance for emergencies. The goal is to be ready for unpredictable events like power outages, natural disasters, economic downturns, or even personal emergencies such as job loss or serious illness. Many survivalists are parents, urban professionals, and ordinary people who simply want to ensure the safety and well-being of their loved ones. Preparing isn't about fearing the worst, it's about hoping for the best while planning for the unexpected. Practical examples. During the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, many families faced shortages of food and essential supplies. Survivalists with organized stockpiles didn't have to wait in supermarket lines or suffer from a lack of resources. Natural disasters like hurricanes and wildfires often disrupt electricity and water supplies. Having alternative energy sources and potable water is a sensible precaution, not paranoia. Myth 2: Survivalists expect a zombie apocalypse or the end of the world. The truth. While movies and TV shows often link survivalism to apocalyptic scenarios, the reality is quite different. Most survivalists don't believe in fantastical apocalypses. They're more concerned with real-life situations such as natural disasters, hurricanes, earthquakes, floods, and wildfires. Economic crises, mass unemployment, recession, and runaway inflation. Disruptions to essential services, prolonged blackouts, water shortages, and communication failures. Social and political crises, civil unrest, violent protests, and societal collapse. Rather than focusing on the end of the world, preparation is about temporary adversities that could disrupt daily life and threaten safety. Practical examples. During Venezuela's blackout crisis in 2019, millions were left without electricity for weeks, affecting water and food supplies. Survivalists with portable generators and food reserves were far better equipped to cope. In 2011, the earthquake and tsunami in Japan left millions without access to clean water and power. Those with emergency kits were able to survive more safely. Myth 3: You need a lot of money to be a survivalist. The truth. While there are sophisticated gear and expensive survival kits available, you don't need to spend a fortune to be prepared. Survivalism is adaptable to all budgets. Many essential items can be acquired gradually or replaced with simple, affordable alternatives. Practical examples include clean, sterilized PET bottles for water storage. Non-perishable foods like rice, beans, and canned goods, which are affordable and long-lasting. Inexpensive multi-tools that can substitute for pricier equipment. Durable clothing and shoes, often already part of your daily wardrobe. The key is to plan and prioritize essential items, buying smartly and incrementally. Practical tip. Start with a basic emergency kit including water, non-perishable food, essential medications, flashlights, and batteries. Gradually add items like survival tools and communication devices. Myth 4: Being a survivalist means living isolated in the wilderness. The truth. While some survivalists prefer an off-grid lifestyle, living in remote, self-sufficient locations, the majority live in urban or suburban areas. Urban survivalism is a popular approach where people prepare their homes for blackouts and emergencies with portable generators and food stockpiles. Plan urban escape routes for social unrest or local disasters. Develop essential skills like first aid, self-defense, and urban navigation. The idea isn't to flee society but to be ready to handle temporary crises in everyday environments. Practical examples. Urban survivalists in cities like Tokyo and Los Angeles keep emergency kits with smoke masks, potable water, and emergency radios for natural disasters. During protests and social conflicts, urban survivalists avoid danger zones using traffic monitoring apps and alternative communication networks. Myth 5: Survivalism is only for apocalyptic scenarios. The truth. Many associate survivalism with fantastical scenarios like zombie apocalypses or permanent global collapses, but the reality is different. Survivalists are more concerned with real, everyday events such as natural disasters, earthquakes, floods, hurricanes, and wildfires. Economic crises, unemployment, high inflation, and prolonged recessions. Disruptions to essential services, blackouts, water shortages, and communication issues. Household emergencies, residential fires, gas leaks, and power outages. Myth 6: Every survivalist is armed and violent. The truth. One of the most harmful myths is the idea that all preppers are heavily armed and ready for confrontation. Safety in survivalism goes beyond firearms. Home fortification, using reinforced locks, security cameras, and appropriate fencing. Non-lethal self-defense, employing pepper spray, retractable batons, and self-defense techniques. Evasion strategies, learning to avoid confrontations and maintain a low profile in risky situations. Those who choose to own weapons do so legally, with proper training and secure storage, ensuring they don't unnecessarily endanger others. Myth 7: Stockpiling food and water is enough to be prepared. The truth. While stockpiling food and water is a fundamental part of survivalism, preparation goes far beyond that. It's critical to develop practical skills such as water purification, knowing how to use portable filters, purification tablets, boiling, and sedimentation techniques. First aid, learning resuscitation, fracture immobilization, and treatment of cuts and burns. Orientation and navigation, using physical maps and compasses, especially in areas without GPS signals. Food self-sufficiency, growing a home garden or identifying edible plants in the wild. Survivalism is prudence, not paranoia. Survivalism is much more than sensationalist stereotypes and myths. It's rooted in prevention, caution, and resilience. It's not about living in fear but about being prepared to face challenges with confidence and security. Being a survivalist isn't a sign of weakness but of strength and responsibility. Everyone can benefit from a basic level of preparedness, whether for natural disasters, economic crises, or everyday emergencies. Survivalism is a flexible, adaptable lifestyle accessible to different realities and budgets. Ultimately, being prepared isn't just a smart choice, it's a necessity in the uncertain times we live in. And remember, always be prepared.